I'm Vita, um, and I'm from Texas on the Gulf Coast, a very small, tiny town, 500 people, I guess. The Bayou, kind of what everybody thinks Louisiana looks like, but it's Texas. And yeah, I probably don't want to say my age, but I'm young enough. No, I was living in a lot of places and really transient. And I had a young boy, and I have this great job of being a stay-at-home mom. But that's really boring to literally stay at home. So as I had means and I could do it, I started to travel around. I literally just did that. I kind of really looked at the map and I go, okay, Jude is about 2. He speaks Spanish, which is weird because I didn't at all. And let's go to Spain. And then I looked at the map of Spain and I said, all right, Madrid looks amazing, but it's in the middle of nowhere, and I can't really be in the middle of nowhere. So I chose Barcelona. I kind of heard some stuff in the playground that Barcelona was a cool place, and yeah, we've been here for 8 years. A transformative moment in my life. There's not one. I think my life is full of transformative moments. So we can say that the most major and most influential moment that transformed my life was probably just being born, and in the sense that I was born to a mother with bipolar. So living and dealing with that, growing up, is quite transformative. So, and I have a brother, and we are born on the exact same day, but 8 years apart. And so we took those 2 moments, that thing, in a completely different way. And but it's been really useful because seeing the world through somebody who is literally insane can be, let's say, eye-awakening. But it builds strength and character, and it's literally been the thing that has made me sort of fearless, let's say, through life. So I would say that's one. I think a lot of people would say having a kid or doing a move, but those were also transformative, but everything in layers. That was the major one, let's say. Yeah. So obviously being a mom is transformative because number one, you transform your body, and that's weird. And so I was really, to be honest, really uncomfortable pregnant. I didn't find it like this blissful, oh my God, that's amazing. It was just like pain in the ass. And you know, like your body's doing weird stuff, and why is that growing over there? And then Jude came, and he was premature. And he was born at like 7 months. And he weighed about 1.5 kilos, maybe 1.5 kilos. So it was in an incubator for 2 weeks. He was this kind of like hairy, Curious George monkey looking thing, and I was just, what is that? I hope he's smart. He is smart. But it's amazing that in a moment when you think that how can when you're pregnant, you're reading all these books about how to be a mother. You're asking loads of questions. You think you need so many things. And that baby comes out and you're like, click. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need you to hold my baby. I don't need you. You don't need help from anybody. You know how to do everything. And you've got this thing, and he's totally dependent on you. And for the first time in your life, nothing has ever been so dependent. And that part is pretty incredible. And so I think that in the beginning, I didn't have this thing what a lot of mothers said, you're so in love. No, I was like useful to him. I was a necessity for him. So I worked in that way in the beginning where I was literally an extended lifeline for him. And as he got older, as the personality grew, I mean, I can tell you now, Jude is 10 years old, so I spent an entire decade with that kid, which is amazing, that his character has been completely set since he was born. So he was in that incubator, super observant, really aware, and that has continued until now. So from 1 year, so 1.5, 2 years old, I remember him touching something or climbing on something he wasn't supposed to. So you have to discipline. So how am I going to discipline? Okay, now I've got this chair here. I'm going to use that to discipline him. So Jude, you have to sit there, and I put a timer, 3 minutes. 3 minutes for a normal child is it's an eternity. So I put it there, and Jude would sit after bling, the time was up, 3 minutes. And I'd say, okay, Jude, now you can get up and play. And he goes, no, I'm going to sit here. No, Jude, you can get up. Mm-mm. And he'd sit for 45 minutes. It's like you want him to get up. It works in the opposite way. So this is the child that I have until now. So that never changed. But he's really cool and really flexible and really easygoing. And he's unbelievably loving, which is clearly something that I needed in my life, because I can be quite cold and not into sharing, but he's the most lovable, warm being I could possibly know. I think that I don't consider things so difficult. I've kind of always looked towards the light. So that dark, difficult, I'm not really down. And there have obviously been sort of obstacles in my life. But even those, I've found myself quite sure, and I've always been okay with myself. And something from when I was a child, I'll tell you a story when I was 5 years old. I was 5 years old. I have the head full of really curly hair, and my mother is quite fair-skinned, and all of my mother's side of the family is all quite fair-skinned, but I'm not. And everybody was constantly commenting on how dark I was. I grew up in Texas. It's sunny. I'm out all the time playing, and how tightly curled my hair. And I remember sitting in the classroom, and the kid pulling it and bing, springing back. And it was like so much fun for everybody to do that. Okay, like Solange, don't touch my hair. We get it. I don't touch my hair. And also the thing about just being dark, which to me, I was like, this is so great. I mean, I don't know, I love it. And I've always loved my dark skin. They are darker. There are many different shades of, I've never understood these things. So I sort of look at life from my 5-year-old point of view. Like, I don't see an issue with anything that's going on with you or me or anybody around. We're kind of different. That's cool. I'm just going to try to move forward in the best way that I can. And so, there's so many situations in life, but there are so many worse situations in life. You can always find a good in everything. I can find a positive in the darkest moments of growing up with my mother. I can always find the light. And I think probably if you talk to any of my friends, and if you ask them about my mother, you wouldn't know that she was so ill and so dark and so god awful most of the time, because that's not important, those parts. She couldn't help it. So I'm always looking for the positive spin in life, because that exists. That's absolutely feasible in every single day. There's so many good things. I really don't have time to focus on anything difficult in life. Oh, that's good. Yeah. What would I tell my 14-year-old self? Well, I would tell my 14-year-old self, definitely get the hell out of Bloomington, Texas, because there ain't nothing there. I would tell my 14-year-old self to relax and to be more loving and warm. To be open to other people's warmth and kindness and care is really important in life. And I think it takes you really far. What do I like about me most? Well, I think I'm all right. It's such an embarrassing question. I think that I'm a really good friend. And I'm quite loyal and reliable. I like that about myself a lot. And I like that I'm kind of smiley and chipper, and I don't want to bring anybody down. I want to bring you up. That's me. I don't know. I like that part about me. A lot goes through food. It's a thing that everybody needs, and so I really love that, and I love to gather. I love gathering. Yeah, I like that about me. I'm a gatherer.